logging off.
Oh yeah, within an hour of me logging off.
Yeah, it's seriously. I don't necessarily know if it was twice, but it was definitely once where like he's gone and then like fucking hour later, up goes the box. But I mean, I give the hours of a crack whore. I get it, but fucking.
This dungeon affix makes dungeons more fun, just because it's more shit exploding on my screen. It just looks good. And then if we combine explosions with more explosions.
Yep. ICM in effect.
And then congratulations, Blizzard, your mob density is fantastic.
I heard a lot of people were complaining about that. Like that's why they were running like low-level dungeons instead of doing the nightmare stuff.
Mob density is bad. I'm hoping they do something about it. Now that they have a baseline.
So there's like 150 whatever fucking dungeons in this game, but only like 20 of them are eligible to be nightmare dungeons, and they're like really spread out. And then what they did is they took all the ones and they're calling it normalizing, but it's targeted fucking nerfs for all the ones that people were trying to do. Like essentially the community criteria was it had to be relatively close to a freaking fight point, and it had to have like a B minus at least for like elite density. And they have nerfed every fucking dungeon that has fallen under that criteria.
Yeah, and I also heard like for the nightmares you can actually teleport to them from a shrine or some shit.
Soon.
Yeah, that's a coming patch because they're too busy fucking
intellectually jerking each other off.
Well, it is Pride Month.
Well, it is Pride Month.
What the fuck are you doing?
I'm trying to fucking do something real quick so I can fucking put a thing on my pants that I don't have, and I don't fucking know why, so I'm just doing it as fast as possible.
Oh, that's fine. I just want to know whether or not I should fucking hit accept, but
yeah.
You were saying Mr. Canadian sounding guy?
I know I've done this one. This is fucking stupid.
What the hell is that noise that sounds like somebody stepping on a fucking squeaky toy every now and then I hear in dungeons? Have you heard it before? It sounds like fucking someone stepping on a squeaky toy.
I mean, somebody with a dog with a chew toy?
I definitely don't.
Jesus Christ. Next. Who's not clicking?
That was me.
The game connection has been lost. Your client has been disconnected from the server. If you were playing a hardcore character, it's now dead.
I would love that to be like the actual warning that comes up on it.
And that's another thing I heard maybe they were doing. If you have a scroll that or something on you.
Yes, there's an elixir that you can use that protects you.
You're hearing a lot of shit that hasn't happened yet.
Okay, that's what I was wondering then.
Where you hear this shit from?
Oh, just the old internet?
No, you need to listen to us. We will guide you, okay? We will hold your dick straight.
Okay. I'll leave it tethered to you then.
Yeah. USB-C, not that bullshit iPhone shit.
Called the lightning connector.
Lightning connector. It's actually fucking slower than USB.
Yeah, they just had to make up something so they could sell more fucking wires. So
Well, I mean, they changed the fucking port every, what, like, 3 hardware releases,
Yeah.
give or take, right?
pretty soon they're not even gonna have a cable, guarantee. Like this would be the first year of only wireless charging.
Well, I mean, there was that microwave charging thing a while back,
is-
and then there was...
Is iPhone QC compliant yet?
Yeah,
It is?
yeah.
I didn't know you could. I didn't know you could wirelessly charge an iPhone.
There's pads you can get, and then you can.
Oh,
It's
you
the
have
same
to
way
have,
the
you have to have their special pad.
yeah, their proprietary pad.
It'll only charge with the proprietary pad.
No, I think.
Yeah. Yes, it only charges with the proprietary pad. You can't grab a Samsung pad and charge it.
Fucking
Yeah, that's
dumb,
what I mean.
dude.
Yeah.
You
Like,
could you
it's-
could take any of the Samsung pads and charge any of the fucking Huawei phones even if you wanted.
That'll be
Amen.
$350 going. Go.
Yeah.
My mouse pad charges my phone. Because my mouse pad is QC. Because my mouse is QC.
Well, believe for you.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's nice when all your things can work together and you don't have an Apple
Yeah.
product.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Well, there's a bunch of right to repair shit that's gonna smack Apple pretty fucking hard in the next, say, 10
Oh,
years.
I'm waiting for that. I heard about that.
Yep, there's Louis Grossman just set up an organization that's kind of tracking lobbying on that shit. He's one of those guys that like just started a business in like Central Park in fucking New York City, and now he has like multiple fucking storefronts and fucking basically just like exclusively repaired Apple products for a while before they essentially made them unable to be repaired by consumers. There was a fight that he had with them, honestly, 5 to 7 years ago, where essentially, he like 2 storefronts is a small operation, period, especially compared to Apple, and they were setting it to where you had to buy like 3,000 of the part in question in order to be considered a vendor under their program.
Oh, there's a lot of companies doing that. They won't sell unless you buy 3,000 plus of whatever their product is.
Yeah, that, and then all the fucking bullshit specialized tools, like work on a Korean, Japanese, or a Japanese vehicle, and you have to spend like an extra
They
3,
call
4,
them
5
key cars.
What's that?
Key car.
I don't know.
That's what you're talking about, those little cars.
But all
They're,
those
they're bringing them to the States now. Have you seen them? I've seen a key car like being driven around in the city now. Oh my god, it's so fucking adorable. I want one.
in the context,
Dude, will you cut that shit out now? I have one that's saying that if I decline it, it will cause me to leave the party.
My fucking bad here. Hold on, I'm trying to pop out of the fucking party. I fucking tapped it once and realized what happened.
Yep, there it is. I just got teleported out of the dungeon.
can't pick one apart.
My bad.
Come on.
I'm gonna find you.
You're interrupting red cabbage time, sir.
Red cabbage?
I made a.
Actually, you know what? I won't find you. I just completed a stronghold I didn't have to do. You're in the clear. That's it though. If it happens again, I'll find you.
I will find you.
Remember, I said I was doing that big fucking meal prep the other day. So I made basically this giant vat of fucking it like this really tart red cabbage, because red cabbage is good for reducing estrogen levels.
A vat of it. Did you scrape it with your finger into the trash can in the airport?
It's a was it like a
You know who Zoltan is, don't you?
Zoltan.
I want to say it's a 10-quart stock pot worth the shit that I fucking made, and I froze a bunch of it. But basically, I'm doing a half head of cabbage, 6 squares of dark chocolate, and then 2/3 of a pound of London broil every day for the next 3 days, and then I'm going into a fast.
How long do you get fast for?
I usually do 3.5 days.
Okay, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
People usually say like they'll do like, oh, I did like a 1 day fast or something. Like, okay,
Oh.
good
And
for
then you ask them really how many actual hours was. It was from 8
Yeah.
o'clock to about 6:30 this morning. So
Yeah.
that's not called fasting. That's called sleeping.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, it's a fast. Okay.
You know what? That's not a fast. That's a slow.
Remember that forearm pick? A couple.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got myself down to, I think it was like 8% body fat at that point, and that was after. So it was 3 months of basically 3.5 day fasts with basically I was breaking with bone broth and some thiamine, and then I was eating an average of 900 calories per day on the days that I was eating. That was fucking rough.
So basically
yeah.
one McDonald's burger without the bread and a diet water.
And a diet water.
When I do the longer fasts, I actually drink salt water instead of water.
Yeah, get your minerals back.
Well, it's essentially just an electrolyte balance, like maintaining potassium levels in order to keep like your heart from fucking fluttering is
I
really
just got
important.
Rage of Haragoth.
Oh, congratulations! Hop back in your party.
The longest I've ever fasted was a week, and I lost too much fucking muscle.
And you didn't get to use your bottle.
And like not a full week, it was 5 days.
Yeah, once you go over basically into like day 4 of the fast, your rest and digest cycle gets like very disrupted, and you have to go into there's a specific formula for it, but it's for like specific ratios of fat, specific ratios of protein, and then like a maximum calorie amount. Like when you break a longer fast of like a week or more, you basically can't go over like 1,200-1,300 calories for like the next 2 days of your body to get used to having food in it. Otherwise, you get yourself really sick. There's a thing called refeed syndrome that you can actually fucking die from if you're fasting long enough.
Isn't that because your body starts eating itself from the inside out, like more than usual?
Well, no, that's known as autophagy, and any type of autophagic process is the intent of the fast. When you intermittent fast, you kick in autophagy as long as you're basically 18 hours
Yeah,
without.
and like ketosis starts happening. And all that.
Ketosis is a separate process, and that's as a result of depleting your glycogen stores in your muscles. You have to burn 500 grams of liver and muscular glycogen in order for that to kick in. So that's completely different, and that's why when people try to cycle ketosis, you have to spend like an hour on a fucking exercise bike every day to burn as much short-term energy as possible. Like that's exactly what I do when I cycle into ketosis.
So that burns away all that stuff so it has to use everything else.
Yeah. So glycogen is basically halfway digested, basically carbohydrate that's like suspended in your muscle. And you can tell when you go into ketosis because your urine will have the best way to describe it is like that fake fruity chemically smell in like a gas station bathroom.
Yep.
So that sort of like chemically fruity smell in your urine indicates the presence of ketone bodies in your urinary tract. That is the point where you have shut down gluconeogenesis in your pancreas and have then, or I'm saying in your liver, and then have, whichever fucking organ, I can't fucking remember, and then you kick into ketosis where your body is now running off fat.
Okay.
You can hard start keto in like a fucking day and a half if you know what you're doing, from just take like the normal American diet and then just hard swap. I just wrote a paper about this, so I'm sorry if I'm being over explaining, but yeah.
No, it's good to know. I like knowledge.
The fasting shit, anyone who does a 1 day fast is a fucking retard unless you're only doing one of those once a day.
Yeah.
So think about like a fucking mountain range where like the top peak is like the highest one, and then it goes down, then it goes down. So
Mm-hmm.
the 18 to 24 hour mark is the highest concentration of ghrelin in in laboratory testing. So the ghrelin is the hunger hormone. So essentially, the hunger pangs from fasting are the worst in essentially, you know, 3/4 to one full day in, and you actually get like way less hungry on day 2 and 3. So it's actually easier.
Let's haul ass through this one so that we can get the world boss.
Yeah, so I'm done. Like I'm already
Yeah,
inside. I don't know what you're doing.
I definitely noticed that. Like I've done a couple 3-day fasts, but I've only done like the one where I was like 5 days because I wanted to see how far I wanted to go.
Yep.
But you definitely, like, if you drink enough water, you hardly feel it after the first day.
It's you have to pair that with one other thing too. It's so a lot of the time where you feel hungry, it's actually a craving for salt. Again, that's why you do the fasting salts and stuff like that.
Yeah, there you go.
So I actually make my own fasting salt blend. Basically it's magnesium, potassium, a little bit of phosphorus, and thiamine. If I do a longer fast, into fucking sodium. And when you're cycling ketosis, you want to ingest between 3,000 and 5,000 milligrams of sodium per day because you're urinating so much faster.
What the fuck? I just got Gore's devastating. God damn, it's 2 ranks again.
Well, okay, so is it 1 to 2,
No,
or is it 2 to 3?
it's 2-3.
Okay, never mind. So if you get a 3 rank, it actually upgrades to 4 rank. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
What
it
happens?
does. It does.
That's right. That's right.
I've gotten 2 fucking uniques though in less than like 10 minutes. This is crazy.
Who's your favorite good luck charm?
I don't know if that's you or not.
Well, I also got temerity pants when I joined your group and zoned in, so we just got a lucky roll.
Nice lucky streak, yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, with the sodium requirements, literally, it's like a 15 fucking page paper that I wrote for this lady that does my braces to like get her into this stuff, and like managing ghrelin, specifically with regard to like the feeling of hunger. The other thing you have to take into account is with the longer fast. Like I do the 3.5 days because that's optimal for me. When you go over into day 4, that's when you start running into refeed syndrome. And refeed syndrome is literally from the Holocaust. Like,
Yeah.
what they were doing is they were giving K-Rats to the fucking concentration camp guys. And because of the amount of like carbohydrates in there, people were like fucking going into shock. Like essentially diabetic shock from having all the carbohydrates. There's
So
a
that just
concept.
fuck up their pancreas so much that it just doesn't.
Well, so the longer, especially if you cycle ketosis, you become insulin sensitive. So like there's like if you're in ketosis for long enough, you'll actually taste the sweetness in like spinach leaves and shit,
Right.
and that's literally your body just becoming hypersensitive. So like if you go into keto, like deep keto, like 25 grams of carbs or less per day, and you're doing like drinking like heavy cream to supplement fat intake, that like essentially the original intent of the ketogenic diet was as a 1920s era treatment for seizure, certain types of epilepsy. And it just ended up having a bunch of health benefits secondary to it, and it's kind of grown as
Yeah. Well, I mean, the gurus and fucking they all used to
Done.
do fasts
go.
and shit too. Or like.
Yep.
I'm done doing what
Bible,
I'm
you're
doing.
supposed to fucking fast.
We're doing the world boss.
yeah. I don't need the glyph experience, just fucking go. But yeah. So there's another thing you have to take into account is when you become insulin sensitive, the way your stomach actually handles carbohydrates, specifically simple sugars, it causes a rapid expansion of your like actual stomach cavity, and you can just like basically just like have like projectile vomiting. So let's say like hypothetically you are on like a 3-day fast, and then you eat like a tub of rice pudding. that's not staying in you for longer than like 20 minutes.
I'll throw
It's-
that shit out.
Oh, rice pudding is fucking delicious. What's the matter with you?
No, like if I go a long time without eating anything really sugary, and then I went to eat something sugary, I actually end up throwing it up.
No, that's fair. That's evidence of insulin sensitivity. There's I can't state whether or not this is like valid research, but
You guys can teleport to me whenever.
I'm almost there. But basically, if when you drink diet soda, the tasting of the sweet causes an insulin response, and if you're in deep keto, it will like cause
A physiological response due to the sorbitol.
Just tasting.
well, I mean, whichever. Like right now, this calf had a fucking cabbage. I'm doing about 50 grams per day, and I'm drinking a can of zero sugar starry, whatever the fuck it is.
Oh, Sierra Mist.
Yeah. They changed the recipe so they can basically not have sugar in it. They went to the corn syrup shit, but like the zero sugar variant of that is like sickly fucking sweet, and it's like fucking with my gut.
Yeah. Have you seen that? What is it? Sucralose now is genotoxic. After what is this? Last 6 months of studies,
Yeah.
actually causing they did the research. Actually causes DNA destruction.
And what was that again?
All the artificial sweeteners, the chlorinated sugars.
Yeah. Are you talking about the ones that don't actually break down in your body and just go
Yeah.
through you?
The
Yeah.
aspartame, aspartame, whatever the fuck you want to call
Yeah.
it. Yeah. They don't actually go through your body, stores them in your fats because it's unable to break them down. And
Yeah,
your body
and it's the reason
recognizes
why.
it as sugar.
Yeah, it's the reason why people who have never had like a bunch of like sugar-free stuff, if they eat a bunch of that sugar-free candy, they end up having massive amounts of diarrhea.
Yep.
So what I'm hearing is I'm immune.
No, your
Immune to
body's
what?
storing it in your fat.
Dude, I'm diabetic. All I eat is sugar-free shit.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Somebody want to get the coffin for him right now?
Yeah, just buried me out back.
Are you type 1 or 2?
Type 1. I was
Oh.
born with this shit, so I got fucked in the beginning.
Ooh.
That's
okay.
Playing on hard mode, man.
He's
Oh,
playing
Yeah.
on
that's called type 3.
I've been playing hardcore the whole time.
He's playing hardcore.
All sorts of wacky shit.
He
like
doesn't
that.
have a scroll of revive.
Well, you can get into a fucking car accident and have a fucking pancreas injury and get diabetes from it. So,
Yeah.
like, but
It's not
my
as
dog, when he
rare.
had his bout of pancreatitis, there was a reasonable possibility that he could have become diabetic from it.
No, it is rare to become type 1 anymore in adults. It stopped being called juvenile, so like anyone can just get type 1 diabetes eventually.
I'll be right back.
Interesting.
Tanner, I found out my shift is going to change next week.
Oh, you working days now?
No, I'm going to be working till 12 a.m.
Oh. Late night.
Yeah,
Oh. that would be
I get
the...
to have the fun shift now.
Are you
So does that
talking
mean
on a
you
cell
just-
phone or something?
Yeah, he's at work.
Yeah,
Oh, I can tell it sounds like shit.
sounds like shit, and you can hear my footsteps probably as I walk back to my trailer.
No, I don't hear that, but I can tell you're talking on something other than a computer.
He can smell you.
So Tanner, you playing Diablo right now?
Yeah, do you want to watch?
I do. And then my work's gonna get fucking Starlink, which will be good, because we're out in the sticks.
Is there a Lilith, altar of Lilith anywhere in this place? Can anyone see? Ratchet.
Altar of Lilith.
Really, Tanner, you haven't
statues.
like Googled all the locations yet?
Gale Valley?
We have a resource up there under information where all of them are.
Information.
Just gotta scroll through the Discord, you would have found it.
Click on it. Okay, where am I? Holy fuck. Okay, there's one down there.
Oh.
See that?
Oh, fuck, that's only clean clothes.
I actually like the controller on this game. I just love fucking trolling people about being on console because they get all offended.
I need more mana.
It's 58 seconds to boss.
Alright, I'm back.
There's your fucking mana.
And to let the puppies out.
Mm-hmm.
And jerk off.
What's this little bell? I've never seen this.
Majority
What
of
is
the time
that?
took them.
What the fuck? What is this bell from?
Oh, that's that fucking MTX that just came out.
What?
Yeah, open up shop and look at the fucking there's a bell somewhere in here.
I don't see no bell. My shop won't look the same as yours though. Oh, here it is, Wanderers. Oh.
And 6 people left.
Fuck your laser. Stand right in it, doesn't do shit to me.
I'm impressed that no one died.
I'm impressed that no one's under level 60 here.
Why because you did one at 15 yesterday?
Hmm?
Why because you did one at level 15 yesterday?
Do you keep saying penis or something? I can't understand what you're saying.
Just fucking get some dick on the brain there, bucko. I said why because you did one at level 15 yesterday?
Level 15 yesterday?
Yeah, you did like it was like fucking a Legion of Inner World boss. You were
Oh fuck yeah, dude! I was in there. That's fine. That's one of world bosses too.
I just couldn't remember if it was a world boss or a Legion.
There it is. There, look. Console plebs did.
Also plebs.
I got another one of these cash. I have 4 of them now.
I think I'm actually gonna call it a night, guys. I'm fucking.
What? Are you serious? You're gonna just
Yeah.
fucking leave us like this?
Yeah, I am. I'm getting
Fucking
kind
console
of
pleb.
burnt out on Diablo, so I'm gonna call it a
I
night.
bet you're a fucking
Early for me.
console pleb, aren't you?
I'm literally on my PC as we speak.
I don't believe you, fucking console pleb.
There's a leech movement this time.
I mean, I can Alt F4 out of this if you really want me to fucking.
Don't try
do
to
it.
use PCMR terms with me.
CMR terms. Look, I can run the code and hack the background and.
Oh, look, here it is. Here it is. I knew you were a fucking console pleb. Write the code and hack the background? No one says that.
Get behind the mainframe and shit, you know? Yeah.
Guys, he's trying to backdoor the
He's
kids.
got a firewall.
I'm gonna backdoor my PCI and the M.2 and the SSID slot and shit. Yeah.
Here's the thing. When you don't know shit about computers and you try to make up some shit about computers, it is literally the fucking best to hear that shit. It's so fucking funny to hear that. Oh my fucking god, I loved it. I loved every bit of it. You made me laugh.
My Best Buy D has a terabyte of RAM.
My terabyte of RAM, Jesus fucking Christ.
No, there's like this fucking thing where people, when they're like trying to buy a computer, and they think like the size of the hard
I think
drive is
more is better. That's why they offer computers now with like fucking 4 terabyte hard drives now. And no SSD.
Why would you have well, like, I understand, like, if you're backing up like music and photos and movies and shit to have a 4 terabyte hard drive, but you still want an SSD. Let me pop out of your guys' shit because I'm gonna leave. Why wouldn't you have an SSD to quickly load like your OS and shit?
Don't
Is that 4 terabytes is for porn and you don't tell anyone about it?
You never look at the specs at Walmart computers?
No, I've never stopped and looked at a Walmart
Dude,
computer.
go into
ever.
Walmart and look at the specs of the fucking computers in there. They're like $600, $800. They've got fucking 64 gigs of RAM, like 8 CD-ROM drives and shit.
64 gigs of RAM and
Yes.
first of all, a CD-ROM drive. If I ever
Yes.
have a CD-ROM drive on my fucking PC, you can shoot me in the face.
Like fucking eight CD-ROM drives.
I have a fucking.
Where's the
DVD drive
fucking
on-
dungeon? Did the thing fail? Oh, it did. When the fuck we get ice cream?
Oh, so he left party when the timer was ongoing, so it fucking bugged.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's no big deal. It's what happened.
Yeah, and it's entirely your fault, is what he's saying.
These dungeons are gonna go so much faster without that fucking rogue in our group. I'm gonna swap over to my rogue.
Fucking before you bounce. Yeah, red cat.
I'm just kidding.
Oh my god, I don't fucking care about it. No, you're good, man. Again, you're not going to say anything that offends me. I actually kind of like the friendly jest. It's fun.
I
don't get this.
I cannot wait actually to play my rogue. I'm actually kind of stoked about it. I want to get this character to 80 though. I want to open those caches and see what's in them.
I was like soft thinking about like I leveled a rogue to like 10, 15, whatever the fuck this morning after I hit 100. And I might do a necro. I don't know what I want to do next, but it's like a couple of leading contenders.
Yeah, and
Well,
I definitely
if
want to do Necro for season 1.
If you do tendrils, tendrils applies. Oh my god, dude, the horse sucks so fucking bad. It's such a piece of dog shit.
Well, that's a bugged like fucking texture or some shit that like dismounts you early.
It's so fucking dumb. But anyway, the tendrils on a necromancer pull all the mobs in, plus apply vulnerability.
Ooh.
Oh, the necro support thing was it?
Yeah,
like,
dude, it's
fuck
so
what I'll play.
good.
Alright, Joe. I'll catch you later.
Have a good one.
He's been sick too recently, so
He's sick.
yeah,
Mm.
his daughter is spreading house AIDS.
Better keep that fucking. You better keep his COVID-infested microphone away from my speakers.
I want to catch that shit through. I want the vibration of that is
I don't want my DSL to get all sick. DSL. We're talking about the internet connection, not the lips.
Can we talk about
I have no
that?
idea what that means. So. I'm
DSL.
not a programmer or.
Fucking less.
Yeah.
DSL was the very first broadband.
Oh, okay. There you go. Learn something new.
It's like I'm too young to know what that is.
Oh, come on. Who here is old enough to fucking diagnose a 56K modem by how it sounds?
Yeah, not by how it sounds.
But
Dude, I didn't even have 56K. I had 14.4, and I was happy with that.
Well, I mean, I didn't have fucking internet in my like a small ass fucking town, but like we didn't have internet until like 1998.
So you gotta be like
14.4,
41,
28.8,
right?
56K, dude, that was luxury.
Yeah. Figured.
Well, the thing is that like if you're an early adopter, you get the early stuff, and then it's kind of, you know, by the time it gets to like certain areas. So there's a friend of mine who works as a some type of. So he was the guy in the Marine Corps that used to set up the satellite internet systems for all like the sat phones the generals and shit use. So like this guy knows his way around a fucking computer, but it had like this horrible fucking packet loss in his thing. So basically he was in this small ass town, and they basically did like the main backbone through like the strip that represented the town, where he was, and then like the outer area, because it was, you know, basically integrated later, got the newer shit, and they just never upgraded the you know, the main wire through town essentially. And he was like constant fucking packet loss. Like he played a Paladin, you know, and
Almost died.
did you?
Yeah, I've been scared.
What? Tell me what you know about the another Fields of Crimson. Tell me about that necro build.
What necro build? My support one?
Yeah.
It's just something I made, dude. What the hell? I can't
I
open.
was just trying something out.
I can't open my. I can't. Does it say that you can't do that in this area when you open a sigil if you're already in the area?
So you have to leave the dungeon if you're trying to reopen the same key.
Yeah, because it's saying you can't do that.
Yep. But yeah, I'm kind of scared when I move back to the country, because I don't want to be in this urban bullshit anymore. But I need good internet.
Well, anywhere Comcast got cable TV, you got good internet. Well,
Fuck Comcast.
you got okay internet, I guess, not good.
I don't know a single person that's a positive thing to say about that ISP.
I don't mind Comcast when the shit's working. When the shit's working, it's good fucking net. When it's working.
Yeah, well, we had a bunch of like.
I've got 1.2 down, and then I think it's 650 up right now, and it's like $70 a month or something like that. It's not Google Fiber, but it's not bad.
Well,
And I haven't actually had a disconnect. I haven't had any connection issue in like 3 months.
Well, they had a thing last summer before, I don't remember, where like a bunch of the fucking like a
Dude, what the fuck? I have permanent uptime on my fucking shouts right now.
That's a challenge.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, I can smash my fucking shouts as fast as I can.
Yep.
Okay.
Not sure. 20 seconds. Let's go with. But
I was happy for a second.
So the fucking they didn't upgrade, they didn't maintain, they didn't whatever the fuck. But essentially, a bunch of the like the actual columns on the spine, fucking like way overheated, and it pulled out for. It was like a consistent thing, like 4, 5, 6 o'clock for like an hour or two for the better part of a week during the summer because like everything was just overheating, and that was fucking obnoxious. That's probably the worst it's been out here.
Yeah, I remember Comcast at old place I used to live was pretty bad, but it's actually not bad here. But I rewired everything all the way from the fucking terminal here, because the terminal's luckily in my backyard. And I worked for Comcast for a little while, just a little while, like 6 months or something.
7 years.
Just a tiny bit of time, but I learned enough. I know what to look for. They're like, would you like us to send it? And please, no, don't fucking send a tech out. I'll do it.
Hey, I know more than you.
Sir, you can't touch what? Click.
I got some new slippers.
Fucking, I don't know. I'll get back into the speed with a lot of this shit soon enough.
I found out that the hub for ZipZail is less than a quarter mile away from my house, going here through my next state close to me. So I have a really fucking good connection.
Lucky you.
Yeah, I am fucking lucky. It's like for fucking once in my life.
Hey, in the information, that's definitely solid as that.
Dude, this is fucked, man. What if you actually needed that fucking health potion? Jesus Christ.
I'm okay with it.
No.
Probably.
No, I'm saying, like, what if you actually needed the fucking health potion from this thing?
Run away. Alright. Inventory time for me.
Yep. I've been hitting inventory every time because I'm picking it all up and selling it because I need the gold.
Oh, too easy. Oh, I can go level up my fucking...
Have you seen a more useless fucking piece of armor? Look at this shit.
What you got? Hey, you know what? You could always hope for that one day where they buff resistances.
Yeah,
And
that one day is in about 7 months.
Yeah, your non-seasonal character by the time we're in season 2 will because they're not touching resistances till S2, right?
Yeah, that's what they said.
Yeah, so fucked. I mean, at least it's like, okay, well, I guess I just have to stack nothing but armor on every class, but...
Why is there so many of these fucking things? Holy shit.
You're doing
shrines
Gemcraft
and
now? Kids, if you're missing anything. Ah, fuck. Ah, shit.
It's a hard map to
What the
follow.
fuck are you going on about, bud?
Fuck, this hallway's a tunnel of death.
What the fuck are you saying?
He's fighting battles that you can only see in the mind.
Playing Fallout, 'cause that's all I can afford to play with no internet.
What? Are you playing it like for us verbally though? I don't get it.
Saying I wish I had internet. I've been using my phone's data for fucking...
So why don't you tether your laptop to your fucking phone? You're on
He doesn't
Discord.
have
That
his
means
laptop that works.
you're on fucking Discord. That means you
I'm
got
fighting
some
that
sort of data
Jet and
connection.
Medex addiction, actually.
No, he's got it on his phone.
You're playing a phone game in Discord with
No.
us?
No, he's got his phone on Discord while playing his Xbox.
While he's at work?
No, he's probably off now.
Did we clear the Galactic Zone? Fuck you.
I don't know how these two things go together. I'm trying to figure out how to make my Diablo 4 game relate to his Xbox game.
Oh, it's not gonna happen.
Oh, I see.
I thought I just killed you. motherfucker.
The fuck? There it is.
Why did I get this game?
Because you
It's
wanted
gonna
to play
take
with
so
us.
long.
It doesn't take that long when you finish the fucking campaign.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, just don't do any of the side shit. Just get the MSQ done.
Yeah, do the main story quests. It's always the
Okay, then
ones with the big mark on the map.
Well, I would have never guessed that. I should get him.
Was that sarcasm?
Yep.
Oh, just wait, I never know what you sometimes. Never know anymore at all with anyone, actually.
Just say the word and I'll break his kneecaps for you.
He's too far. He can't do nothing.
I'll be back in July, Tanner. That's the fear.
I don't.
Or I'll
fear
just
you.
send Mick.
Oh,
I'll just send Mick.
Yeah, he's got his tethered fucking other body he can send over here. Oh shit, I'm getting shot at. Motherfucker, I was looking at the map, damn it.
Tanner, do you see what Mick's fucking doing?
Yeah, he's drinking and getting fucking watching Mando.
Well, not only that, but he brought his fucking M10X to go shoot a cat with, so...
Well,
Yeah,
if that's anything worth
fucked up. I
shooting
don't
a
want
cat
to hear
with.
that shit.
Hey
Oh,
man,
that's cool.
this is rural Canada. Them cats eat fucking.
I don't care. That's fucked up, dude.
When you have like 20 feral cats, you just
I
start
don't give
shooting
a
them.
fuck. I'm gonna start shooting you.
Well, you don't know what it's like until you have 30 of the fuckers
That's
running
don't
around.
matter. I don't want to hear that shit.
Well, they're territorial, so if you have like a pet cat, they'll fucking kill your cat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't care.
Well, it's not an not a justification, but yeah,
It's
like
definitely not a
there's
justification.
I justify it.
Okay, what I'm hearing is I'll catch all 30 of these fucking things right now and send them to you. How does that sound?
Yeah, better than that. You shooting them.
Jesus, that's
Yeah.
a werewolf!
You know what's actually really
Wait, how do I screen
messed up
grab?
about that is that
Prince
my
Grant.
mom and dad had a cat, and she was so skittish and she was so scared and all that sort of stuff. And they finally brought her in, and now she's like one of the best pets that they've ever had.
Thanks, Jesus.
Thanks, Jesus.
Yeah, fucking Jesus came out of nowhere and turned into a werewolf and killed these ghouls for me.
Isn't that the druid's ability?
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a werewolf form.
Well, he must have had both because he turned into a werewolf and a bear.
What the fuck? It's the most sacred power in the universe.
Oh shit, they're all the way at the front.
Fuck, where are these goddamn things?
Now we have the ultimate power in the universe.
Did anything cool come in?
No.
fuck?
Anything cool?
What
that
did your
came in
gun
the
store even
with
sell?
lock on the door? Nothing.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. Oh, I'm sorry, that looks like a nice T-51 helmet. Might have to rob that one. Garbage. Garbage.
Well, the only other cool thing to come in, I suppose, is the gun that Dawn got for me. We
Which
were
is
on
that car?
post.
Like the Carcano or what?
No, we were at the end of the day. We was just scrolling through Gunpost and we saw this. It's a Remington Model 10 in 12 gauge. So I was like, oh shit, that looks pretty cool. And it's a Riot model. So it's ambidextrous, like bottom eject. And he's like, oh fuck, we'll get it. So he like messaged him and we got it. That came in, $350.
Are these fucking
Shot
mobs
it.
supposed to teleport to us when
Ooh.
there's just a couple of them
Fancy.
nearby?
Pretty fucking sweet.
No, they never actually did that.
I got Pentnet Greaves who leave behind a trail of frost that kills enemies.
Oh, that's those are best in slot for Rogue.
Yeah,
Because
really?
so crowd control and movement speed for them equals defensive because they have like no inherent defenses.
Well, the only bad thing about these is they're level 77. I think uniques should have no fucking item level requirement on them.
You know what they should honestly fuck that. I will accept if they do that with legendary powers. So like if you extract if you extract a legendary power off a level 95 and then like try to enchant your alt's weapon or something like that with it, raise the level requirement to 95 on that new weapon. Sorry? Is that one more time?
I was agreeing with you at the same time. I recall that happened. I used a fucking extracted aspect from one of my legendaries, and I was happy I was gonna use it on my necromancer. And I made the item and turned it into a level fucking 72. I was like, what the fuck is this?
That might not sound like it's like for us it's a minor inconvenience, but like for hardcore players, if your main character dies, you've like double fucked yourself because you can't even use those powers on your backup character.
Mm-hmm. It's bullshit.
Like that,
it should just leave the level alone.
Yeah, just like it doesn't sort based on fucking power. So like the 805 that I extract that has 23% barrier is higher than the 725% barrier. It's like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Like, what? Why did they affix item level to that at all? It's fucking stupid. Like, you put a minimum of requirement of like, say like the dungeon requires you to be level 40 to like zone in, or some type of quest type thing or whatever. I'll accept that, but there's no fucking reason for them to have that.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, we're gonna have ourselves a happy little puppy in a little bit. I put a steak out on the counter to basically soft dry age. It's a London broil, but peppered the fuck out of this thing. I'm gonna throw it on the grill after you and I are done for the evening.
That for me is gonna be about 1 hour because I've gotta go to the fucking store and do a build.
Yeah, everybody's taking off early tonight. It's fucking Friday too.
Yeah, I gotta cut a tree down tomorrow too in the backyard.
Yeah. I don't have trees though, so I don't have to worry about that.
This one's like 25%. Well, it's like 75% dead. And the alive part is the part that's away from the house, which is just more of a pain in the ass because I wish the alive part was the part that was over by the house, so I don't have to worry about it fucking debris falling on the house.
Well, if we're gonna talk trees, there's a little meat on this, but bear with. Remember I said that I like built that thing about my dog, right? He is like supremely allergic to palm trees, and the previous owner had fucking 9 of them in the backyard, and they have like these little peppercorns come out, and that's basically their seeds. And every time those got near him, he was like, he wouldn't ready to be put on antibiotics.
Yeah, this sounds like that poor little pupper that has literally the worst fucking life rolls.
Well, it's because he's not native to this area. So, like, if it was a breed of dog that had been here for like 100 fucking years or something like that, like a Chihuahua wouldn't have a fucking problem because they're native to fucking Mexico, right? So they're like inherently southwest. But you take a fucking rat terrier from essentially the northeast and put it in the southwest, yeah, there's going to be some allergy problems. And the allergies caused everything else, essentially. But see, the eye problem was because of the exacerbation of his allergies. With we can't talk about that in the present company, but like there was some fuck that happened with that. But so the short on that is, I said fuck this, chopped every one of these down, just ran the fucking chainsaw and ripped them out, ground the stumps, just murdered these fucking trees, and that removed something to the effect of about 93% of his total presentation of allergies. Like I can actually show you the allergy report, like before and after. It was like stark. So fucking anyway, so I removed all the shit, like any possible allergen I pulled out of my fucking property, because all the properties out here are like hardscape, like rocks and shit. And my HOA went after me for not having enough plants in my fucking yard.
Oh, you're in an area with an HOA?
Every fucking thing out here is in an HOA.
I don't give a fuck if it's a 10-cent HOA. I don't want somebody telling me what I can have and can't have in my yard.
They're ridiculous with all the differential enforcement. It's like the one guy was like complaining about some stuff where, like, hey, blah blah blah, and he made like a culturally insensitive reference, and he got accused of das racist, and they like dropped his complaint because this is a neighborhood that is white minority. They went after me. I'm in the middle of an event right now. I'm sorry. They went after me for not having enough plants, and what I do is, like, if somebody's gonna try and legal me to death, I'm gonna smile kill them. And I went to the actual building code, and they were attempting to enforce a standard that was in contravention of the municipal rules. So I did that. They said, "Oh, we don't care." So then I pulled out, well, I hate to break it to you, but I'm the inventor of XYZ, blah, 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 and got amicus letters from each of the clinics that I do work with, and literally had like half a dozen DVMs write letters, and they still got on my ass about it, even with all that.
I made sure that we weren't living in an HOA. I'm really glad that I don't have to fucking worry about it.
Yeah, like, when the rules are fair and are enforced in a congruent manner, there are certain aspects of an HOA.
The only ones that I like about the HOA is, like, you can't have a fucking car outside your house that's been broken down for 8 fucking months, and your grass isn't fucking 7.5 feet tall, and your fucking yard isn't littered with shit that just makes it look fucking terrible and lowers the value of the neighbor's house. Like, shit like that makes sense. There shouldn't be an HOA. It should be just a regular fucking county or city ordinance.
Well, that's the thing. It's like, we have ordinances. Like, for example, in your area, you have a noise ordinance which says 8, 10, whatever fucking o'clock. Turn your fucking music down. It can't go below a certain decibel level at the property line, right?
Yeah.
Like, every fucking municipality has that. But then this particular HOA will have all the fucking kids and shit, you know, acting like they're fucking on the block, banging their fucking bullshit fucking basketballs all fucking you know, no fucking apparent fucking regard for fucking anything. And there's no enforcement on any of that nuisance. You know, like, think of it like this. Like, there's a bunch of, like, older white people here, like, 60, 70-year-old, whatever the fuck.
Mhm.
And they're next to, like, you know, 35, 40-year-old, you know, black and Hispanic with, like, 17, 18-year-old fucking kids. And they're just trying to, like, enjoy a peaceful Sunday afternoon. And you got these fucking kids essentially having, like, that fist fight kind of fucking basketball shit again in the front of the house, like that really aggressive kind of basketball.
Aggressive basketball. It just
I don't know.
it's funny.
You know what I'm talking about? Where they're like fucking elbowing each other and like, oh, this fucking bullshit, doing their little fucking monkey jumps and shit. But the fucking like, oh, you know, who fouled who?
Oh, fucking street ball.
Yeah, like that. And but it's clashing culture. Okay, yeah, whatever. But here, fuck. Last summer, there's this family who lives next to me, and they are like Dominican or some shit, and they're fucking. They went out of town for like a long weekend, and their kid had this party where So what happened was, like, they were all like 18, like all like underage, and they stole a bunch of liquor from the grocery stores, and with those like little magnetic black caps, and like in the front of the fucking house, they were trying to drive a car over the bottles to crack the plastic. Yes. So they're doing this shit, this might have been like 10, 11 o'clock. And this went on until about 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. With just ridiculous, loud, whatever. Like, I kind of, I knew the kid, and I knew, like, his friend, too, because, I've known them since they were in, like, junior high school, so it's like, hey, dude, can you tone this down a little bit, type thing. And
You didn't give a fuck that they were just trying to get lit up out in front of the yard? You just wanted them to be quiet?
Yeah, just like, hey, can you, like, turn that down from, like, a 9 to an 8? Or
Look,
fucking,
I don't give a shit if you're shooting yourself in the face. Can you but fucking do it quietly?
well, I used to go to, like, bonfires and shit when I was in, like, my late teens, where, like, so this was, like, state land, and...
Oh, I used to live by state land.
Okay, yeah, so it's one of those ones where, like, this guy owned, like, 30, 40, whatever fucking acres in the middle of fucking nowhere, and we were on, like, the property adjacent to that, and this guy had a trailer in, like, the extreme back of his property that he hadn't touched in forever, and a bunch of my fucking buddies, we were getting, like, blitz drunk. Like, I brought a bottle of Crevassier with me out in the fucking woods, and we just started fucking going nuts with this. They broke into the trailer, and, like, 5 minutes later, I saw 3 fucking guys carrying a sofa out of the trailer and threw it onto the fucking bonfire. It was, like, the type of parties that I was going to when I was in high school.
You were generally a pain in the ass to everybody else then, huh?
Well, no, it just is.
He got stuck in the words.
I have a scar in my left armpit that looks like somebody put out a fucking cigarette in me. And
Because they did?
no. At a separate fucking fight, the fucking his name was Andy. He got drunk and started a bottle rocket fight. Like, was lighting bottle rockets and fucking shooting them at people, thinking it was funny.
What is it?
That is funny when you're drunk.
One of them fucking caught me right in the fucking armpit and fucking burnt the fuck out of me.
Have you seen the guy who puts a fucking bottle rocket in the other guy's, like, ass cheeks and he holds it, but it starts, like, fucking flaring up his ass, which makes him flinch, and he fucking takes the full blunt of the whole bottle rocket straight to the ass?
No, I
You haven't
can't
seen that?
even-
It's funny as
No.
shit. Hold on.
But back on point with this kid's fucking idiotic party, right? Like, so fucking what? You're supposed to act up when you're doing this thing, but like, I pull him over like, hey, dude, just like, come on, like, you're scaring my dog. It's fucking 1 o'clock in the fucking morning, whatever the fuck, and like, his friend, this like little punk ass fucking kid, comes over and starts talking about how he's a professional Yu-Gi-Oh streamer or some shit, which apparently means that I'm supposed to be impressed. So I fucking start making fun of him to his face, and he does like this, kind of like high horse, indignant, moral outrage bullshit. But oh fuck, that was irritating. But it
I've got it.
that ended up with the fucking cops getting called. Separate incident. This is 5-6 years ago. Okay, there was a guy. What essentially happened was the 2008 housing market crashed, but like no one could afford to sell their house. And what happened was everybody was renting, and this nice little old like black lady like moved across the street from me, and she there for years, no problems. Like one of the few neighbors I actually interacted with. You know the deal. You know, a little old lady across the street, she can't fucking do something. She knocks on your door and you fucking jar of pickles, cup of sugar, hey, my lawnmower won't start type shit. Yeah, being neighborly. Now the problem is her son gets out of fucking prison and he's back on the fucking block. And this was scaring the shit out of my mother. My mother's blind, and she was living in my third bedroom at the time. And there was this fucking like a house party, whatever the fuck, and there was a boyfriend girlfriend there, and they got into like an actual fist fight at the party, and they kicked him out to get him to cool down, and he stood outside the house and was like screaming at the top of his lungs at the house. So he goes across the street onto my fucking front lawn, and picks up a bunch of rocks and starts smashing them against her fucking car.
Oh. Yeah, that's not okay. That's not okay.
Yeah, it's like all this kind of shit was happening in this neighborhood, and it like really, it devalued a lot of the properties. It fucking like a lot of people with like, hey, my kids, 3, 4, 5, whatever. I don't want them to be around this influence when they grow up, so they fucking leave. And it just, like 2008 in this particular neighborhood, ended up lasting until like 2018. Like no hyperbole whatsoever. It took that long for the values to actually go back to what they were.
Look at that video that I posted in the general channel. So he goes to light a bottle rocket in his ass, and it starts like flaring. So he tries to let, like he gets scared and causes his butt cheeks to flinch, and then because his butt cheeks flinch, it starts like fucking going off, and he's like flipping the fuck out. Finally, it just fucking explodes like right at his ass cheeks. Shit's fucking funny.
They did that in the first Jackass movie. They had I think it was Chris Pontius. So he laid on his back and basically put his ass up in the air, put his like elbows on the ground, and popped his ass up that way. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
And they stuck a bottle rocket up his ass, and then with it, yes, that's literally the thing that everybody's copying.
Yeah, this is old. This is like from fucking. This is like E-Bombs World level old. Sorry, Tanner. I don't know if you know what that is. It's like, it's like before you were born.
Oh, he's a youngin'.
Oh, Tanner's a
I'm only
baby.
25.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Born in 97.
Jesus Christ. I was a sophomore in high school.
You're born in 85, right?
No.
No?
I'm
Something
older
like
than
that?
that. Gotta go back a couple of years. I was born in 82.
82. Okay.
That was a good year, by the way. Just so we're clear.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people
They
like.
say.
Sorry.
That's what they say.
What? I kind of I like the late '70s and the early '80s like band of like movies and stuff. Like like those exploitation films and the grindhouse art house kind of movies from like the late '70s.
Yep.
That's my
Talking
favorite genre.
like Breakfast Club and shit.
No. Those are coming of age films. What I'm talking about is like a grindhouse film, for example, would be like The Last House on the Left.
Oh, that's a fucked
That's
up
a
movie. That's a fucked
Yeah.
up movie. You talk about the one where they put his fucking head in the microwave at the end?
Well, I don't remember that particular scene, but they're basically this is in the late '70s and early '80s there was this massive like wave of reprisals against hippie counterculture. So for example, in the late '60s, actually mid '60s and late '60s, you saw like Dirty Harry, Death Wish, all
Death
those
Wish
kind
was
of
awesome.
yeah, the fantastic series. But so essentially, that particular band of 10 to 15 years worth of film was largely presenting like anti like vigilante justice type stuff, like kind of like right now where like a lot of the inner cities aren't really prosecuting a lot of crimes, and that's causing a lot of people to get really fucking pissed off. Like essentially the current political climate recreated the 1970s is kind of what they're getting at. But with regard to like the art house, grindhouse kind of stuff, there was one particular Italian film, so 1970s Italian horror films. Inferno being one of them is fucking amazing, but they're like hyper real practical effects. One, I think his name was, I think it was Sergio that fucking did this movie. Where
Sergio Leone?
I don't think so. But so this movie was so violent and the fucking practical effects were so realistic that the actors in the film had to appear before a judge as proof of life.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but I've heard about it.
Exactly. And then, like, Cannibal Holocaust, for example, had, like, there's that scene where they shoot the pig with the shotgun. There were multiple takes on that because they fucked it up. Like, little shit like that. But, like, am I pro animal abuse? No, but I'm pro realistic movie. Salo, one of my favorite films. That's actually a Marquis de Sade book that was converted into a film. A modern example of like art house, grindhouse kind of films would be like anything from Lars von Trier. So we're gonna get into some really spicy topics for a moment. The reason I love Lars von Trier, so he came out with like Antichrist, Melancholia, what was the other one that I just watched this Nymphomaniac, all these like really stylish but also very graphic films, either in terms of sexual reference or showing like kids getting fucking killed on screen and shit like that. Things that like shock the conscious. There's a scene in Antichrist that's going to make you never look at a pair of scissors the same way again. But this guy is a professional troll, and it's like the funniest fucking thing. So he got kicked out of Cannes and blacklisted there for like 5 years because he, like, this is a Hollywood meeting essentially. So, like, to a room full of Jews, he gave a speech about how he understood Hitler. Like, he's just a professional asshole, and it's just so fucking funny. But he has fuck tattooed on his knuckles, which just makes him a cool guy. But like
That makes him cool.
Yeah, why not?
This guy is just one of those guys. He just doesn't give a fuck, and it's so funny, and it reflects directly into his art style. If you'll humor me, I will stream the first like minute of Antichrist, just so you can see how this guy does his framing shots. And
It sounds like. Have you seen Evil Dead, not the just latest one, but the one before that, where like he's pouring kerosene on his daughter, and then he lights his daughter on fire to get the devil out of her.
Yeah, like
Are you
like
talking
why?
about shit like that?
Well, that's an example of it. So what you want to look at in terms of philosophy, you want to look at the work of Bataille. See, he's a French philosopher from the mid 20th century who coined the phrase limit experience. So like any type of extremophile experience, whether it's sexual perversion, whether it's extreme violence, whether it's whatever, it's kind of so secondary to this essentially is like I'm kind of chasing the high that I experienced during the war in the art forms that I consume, if that makes sense.
Video games don't do it for you, huh?
No, not even remotely.
Playing the wrong video game, bud.
No,
You might play some
anything like that.
some VR shit.
no.
No,
So
VR doesn't even.
a lot of that stuff, like World of Warcraft, I always use that game as a spreadsheet simulator, essentially. So, like any MMO or like ARPG such as like this, anything I can theorycraft in actually helps me be less autistic. Because I kind of like get it out of my system that way when I'm like spending 10, 12 hours doing a spreadsheet as opposed to, you know, letting it stay in my head and being like even more awkward than I normally am. But you can stream audio. So if I stream video, it'll stream the audio too, right?
Only if you select the application of what you're streaming instead of your whole screen. I don't want to see it though. I'm alright.
What's that?
I don't want to see it. I'm fine. I don't want to be desensitized to that shit.
Oh no, I'm not talking about like murder porn, but like the opening of a Lars von Trier film, just as an example. I won't do it. Don't worry about it. But that like the grindhouse was the term for it in the 70s. Art house. Yeah, just look up a list of art house films, and then I'll give you an example of things that are within that category.
I get the idea.
What's that?
I get the idea.
Got another Harrigan.
Hmm?
Yeah. This one's only a 24 roll, so it's fucking shit. Or, yeah, 24 roll instead of.
I've gotten all the uniques I haven't seen in the whole goddamn game, like, just today. I'm, like, really shocked.
Yeah, I have Temerity, a Fields of Crimson, Harakath chest now, and then I got one of the two-handed maces earlier today. But, yeah. Yeah, movies are definitely, like, do you guys watch a lot of, like, horror movies, or?
I've seen
science
too many
fiction
movies,
shit.
but more of like
Actually, you've been watching all of DC's comics. Like, I watched all the Marvel ones.
Yeah, the Marvel ones seem kind of cartoony to me.
They're
I
doing
like
it on purpose. Like, the Thors, the last two Thors that have been released, like Ragnarok and this last one, fucking terrible.
They kind of seem like with that like mixture of like action
They're
scenes
trying to
with
make
like
it family, like everyone friendly, family friendly shit.
well, the way it struck me
Blade is better.
was that it was kind of intended for people at like the 95 IQ range.
Yeah, really.
Like, he said the funny thing after he beat him up.
Yeah, I don't care for that shit. It's fucking.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell they're doing, but it seems like all movies now are all going towards that shit.
I haven't even watched the new
So,
ones.
those bring in a ton of money, so you're gonna. So think of that as like essentially the equivalent of like pop music. Like it's popular because it sells, not because it's popular, right?
It's popular because it gets a little bit of everybody in it.
Yeah, it appeals to the general
The
audience.
masses.
The
yeah.
widest, yeah.
Exactly.
And
So,
the widest amount of people out there are
Buffalo's not me.
genuinely fucking retarded. So
yeah. Or sorry, I'm retarded. That was the lightning bolt.
no, not I don't. I
Not
don't
that
count.
kind of retarded.
Yeah. See, I count more of the regular person is retarded.
Tanner believes he's above everyone else.
Well, the
Yeah.
regular person is retarded.
I
The
have
regu-
ADHD.
The regular
so that's
person
the only-
is above everybody else, though.
But so for example, if you're into like edgier films and stuff like that, you could check out any movie from like Act 20 or A24. That's probably my favorite like modern horror studio. They came out, so they were the guys behind Hereditary and Midsummer, for example.
Oh yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen a little
Hereditary
bit of
was the shit.
Hereditary.
What was that?
I've seen a little bit of Hereditary. Like I watch a lot of movie synopsis and stuff. Like, you know, I don't actually sit there and watch the movie.
You watch those 5-minute movies, the fucking ones on YouTube. They
Yeah.
explain what happens in the whole movie in 5 minutes.
Yeah, but you miss so much context. Like, I understand why. So, for example, if we're going to talk about that type, my favorite channel in that genre is Spooky Rice. He goes into all the, like, I actually found a bunch of really good movies from him, like Gone Girl. I found from him. That's a
Yeah,
woman.
that was a good one.
The synopsis, so everybody knows, is there's a woman. She's a prostitute. She sells her daughter into prostitution. Her daughter gets fucked up with like all the drugs and the other stuff, and then she becomes like a cutter. And then at the end of the film, she basically slits her wrist, and her mother finds her dead in the bathtub. It's the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds like a terrible movie. I want to see it now.
It is
Yeah,
a
see,
terrible movie.
Yeah, those are the kind of movies that I watch those like full synopses on, because I know I would never actually sit there and watch the movie, but I like to know what happens, like everything about it. Like the stuff that I watch is like, you know, they go through the entire story, and then they also go through like some of the stuff about the making of and all that shit, like what was involved.
Behind the
all that
scenes?
stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of. So I watched so I like Spooky Rice in particular. I watch a lot of that for like movie recommendations. Then I go watch the movie, and then I go back and rewatch. You know,
Yeah,
whatever.
like there's been a lot that I've like seen those, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should go watch that movie. But then there's the ones where it's just like block, and I don't really care to go and watch the full hour and a half run time. It's like, oh, that's fine enough for me. Like I would never sit down and watch the full thing, but unless there was something that really piqued my interest, I would. Most of the stuff I go and watch those kind of videos after I
Yeah,
watch the
I'm
film.
right now. I'm watching all the Vincent Gallo movies.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
So he's the guy behind the Brown Bunny, which was like this ultra controversial film. So this was like a full to completion on screen blowjob from Chloe Sevigny that like shocked the art community back in like 2008 or whatever the fuck, or sorry, like was it 2018 that fucking film came out? What? But like I want to like if you're gonna tell me the movie's controversial, I'm just gonna want to watch it even more, right? So let's just fucking get it over with. And even at that, it wasn't even a good blowjob. It was fucking awful. It was like one of the things where it was like, she spent so much, like, she basically, like, rubbed her fucking, he was standing up, and she rubbed, like, the side of her head awkwardly into his fucking abdomen, like, the entire fucking time. Like, Jesus, it was... Like, you would want your money back if you paid for that fucking blowjob.
I was about to say something stupid like that. Oh my god.
Seriously. So,
I've never heard somebody so offended about the quality of the acting within the depiction of the movie.
It's like,
better acting.
come on. Like, you're a fucking artist. Like, can you at least put some effort into it? But, like, goddamn.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
So this fucking movie with that I'm watching, it's Buffalo 66, and I'll send you a link to it if you want. But Vincent Gallo is the main actor, and he gets out of prison, and his parents like guilt trip him into seeing them, and he's lied to them about where he was the whole time. He's like, "Oh yeah, I'm secretly married," and and all this other shit. And this kind of filmed in like the backdrop of like the late '90s for like kind of atmospherics in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
But he goes to a ballet class and kidnaps Christina Ricci, and fucking eventually gets her to agree to pretend to be his wife. And she gets there and sees how fucked up his family is, and like feels bad for him basically. Like the father fucking killed his dog when he was a kid out of fucking spite. Like, for example, is like how fucked up this family is. Like Vincent Gallo does this really good job at basically showing like train wrecks of human beings in his films, and that's the reason I'm essentially watching all of this movie.
You coming in?
I'm already in.
Oh.
Yeah, I literally walked past you.
Oh,
Three
you
stories.
did? I didn't even notice.
But you were distracted and frazzled because I dared talking about a blowjob that I am.
I was shocked that you were so upset with the acting. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been shocked enough to complain about a blowjob on a movie set.
It's just, well, I mean, come on, like, you've done the whole thing where you fucking, like, ran through a bunch of slam pigs for, you know, when you were going through, like, a dry spell, right?
Slam pigs?
Like a slightly overweight woman that you know is going to put out just because she has no other options.
No, I've never had that. Never gone through that.
Fair enough, but, well, so, in the military, when you're, like, sent to a place for, you know, 2 weeks here, 5 weeks here, 3 weeks there, you can't have a fucking relationship. You pick up sluts and bars. And it's like one of those things where the women near the military bases will get like this really cocky kind of attitude because they're, you know, fucking very in shape people. And they think like, hold on, I must be secretly hot. It's like, no, you're not. You're just available and you're just there and willing. And there are a lot of women near military bases that act the fuck up. What would be an example? Okay, so my buddy picked up a chick out of it was a steakhouse, and she had like, you know, 2 kids from 2 different guys under the age of 20. She was under 25 and already been, you know, impregnated.
Yikes.
Yeah, like this particular cluster of yeah, I see it. I call them the overachievers, and there's a story out of recruiting that'll knock your fucking socks off. But how do I put this? We were about to fucking deploy, and he thought he was gonna die because it was his first deployment. So he marries this fucking girl, and she spent every fucking penny he fucking earned while he was deployed, and divorced him within 6 months of him coming back.
Yikes.
Here, you want to see how dark this fucking rabbit hole goes? I have a friend.
Oh, I've already been through this shit. I know exactly what it's like. I had somebody do that while I was working in the oil field.
Well, this one's gonna get a little fucked up. So this guy, he was a first sergeant out of essentially Baghdad, and he got injured, had a brain bleed, and was like put the fuck out. And this guy was like a rocket shaped motherfucker. Like he was like the top of the top kind of type guy. and his wife started fucking around on him. He finds out, they divorce. She purposefully got his dog during the fucking divorce and then put it down to spite him.
That's fucked up.
Yep. That's a shallow grave right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, there are a lot of there's a lot of guys like in Fort Bragg, for example, which there's a bunch of strip clubs that are like right fucking near the getting out of post, and it's just all these fucking whores from like 100 miles away go there like, oh, maybe I'll get a fucking blah 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 service member to fucking marry me, and then I can divorce him, you know, a year later or whatever. It was so bad that during the 1970s, I believe, they instituted a thing where you had to be married for at least 10 years to be able to get part of the retirement benefit that a military member gets. Basically, there was this massive crop of like military divorces where they would get married for like a year, and then she would get half of this fucking pension.
I'm doing the event here.
Okay.
Yeah. They they had to squash that bug right there, basically.
But it should be, dude, it should be like that regardless. Like in every sort of relationship, not just in the fucking military. It should be
Yeah,
like that
I think so
everywhere
too.
regardless.
Well, the Scandinavian model, for example, only does like 18 months of alimony maximum, as opposed to in Massachusetts, there's a
In 4 months, I will be done paying 4 years of alimony.
Oh, I didn't know you were divorced.
Yeah.
So you didn't learn your lesson, so you fucking did it again.
No, I learned my lesson.
Sorry?
I learned my lesson. I'm actually with somebody that I knew before her.
I'm just giving you shit. I'm sorry if that was inappropriate.
No, I definitely learned my lesson.
But the fucking yeah, so, like you can practically fucking feel like how twisted my fucking opinion of like modern women are, with like having to put up with all that bullshit. Where you,
yeah, I'm well over that shit now too.
And you know, I mean, does it mean that I'm an evil person for having these opinions? No. It's like, well, why did you act that way?
Well,
you know.
No, actually, I can just. The only question I would say is, what? Who hurt you?
I can start rattling those names off.
Exactly. That would be the real question I would ask. It would just be, who hurt you?
That's a 20-hour multi-part fucking story. Right
show me on the doll.
Yeah. I've always found the concern trolling to be a fucking non sequitur, because everyone is damaged.
Well,
Like no matter how. Right?
Everybody's got their story. Isn't it so fucked up to bring somebody into the world that this time is going to be subject to all the same shit but worse in the future?
Well, it's only going to get worse though. Like, have you? I got the key. Like the parallels between modern America and the Weimar Republic era of Germany are fucking stark. And the overcorrection to this is going to be hilarious to watch.
How do you think it's going to play out then?
I'm hoping for a particular outcome that may have played out before in history, and
like the fall of the Roman Empire, that kind of
well,
happened before?
The thing is that every empire waxes and wanes, like no matter what. The problem is like, so for example, a lot of the thing that people are citing right now is the fall of nations, and I can give you like a scan of the actual section of the book. It's like every empire has five phases, but the problem is that the retards that are trying to use that as an argument didn't take into account that essentially that timeline doesn't apply. So basically, for that timeline to apply, it would have to mean that the United States became an empire when it was founded, when as recently as World War I, the United States was regarded as a third-rate military power. Like,
Yep.
we were essentially in World War One. They were already fucking losing, right? So Germany got super fucking desperate and contacted the government of Mexico, promising them all the stuff that we fucking annexed from them after they lost the Mexican-American War. Okay, so Germany was literally trying to bribe Mexico into invading the United States to keep them out of the European theater of operations. It's called the Zimmerman Telegram.
I'm gonna switch to my road.
Okay. Yeah, I'm down for whatever, dude. Let's go. But yeah, fucking. So like we were essentially the like the French and the Germans were kind of going back and forth, but there was also there was a pro-communist revolution that happened in Germany during World War One, like toward the end. So that like Germany had an internal revolution, an external war, and then the United States came in and essentially tilted the scale just enough. Like we were